A brand new Village Vice. We have a lot to talk about. Before we get started, though, I got to ask you a question. Zach, he's Zach Blackerby. I'm Brad Law.
Where are you?
Oh, I'm in the car. I'm going to the beach.
Good
like
for
we're
you.
not going to we're not going to Omaha, but dadgummit, I'm getting in the car and going somewhere.
Good for you.
My broadcast season is over. We're going to the beach. We're on the way now, but that doesn't mean we're stopping Village Vice. No.
If anything, we're starting it again because I feel like we haven't done one, me and you, in like 2 weeks.
I know Taylor and I did one last week, and we've had stuff all over the place, but like the landscape has changed. We have to talk about stuff before we get going, though. Hey, I got a joke for you, Zach. Hey, Zach.
Hey,
what did the magician? What did the fisherman say to the magician?
Are you sure that's right? Are you sure that's the right? Okay. What did the fisherman say to the magician?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pick a cod, any cod.
All right. Is this vacation, Brad Law?
It is. Yeah, this is off-season Brad right here. Like, I've got my Roback t-shirt on. I couldn't, I know. We're both in Roback. Why don't we just go ahead and tell people? Vice 20. I had someone ask me over the weekend, what's the code? Vice 20 is the code at roback.com.
It's amazing how much we get asked what the code is.
I know.
It's like, I mean, we say it all. I'm glad you're asking. I'd rather you ask it than you not use it. But yeah, save 20% at roback.com. You can get one of the shirts that Brad has. You can get this hoodie that I'm wearing, whatever. I want to talk about the NIL stuff with you. But first, I mean, very few people are as close to this baseball team as you. I mean, just calling every game. What were your emotions just as far as like how you felt for this team when, I think some Auburn fans thought, okay, maybe they might lose in 3, but to get swept at home in your first super regional, like not an ideal situation.
No, not an ideal situation. I would remind everybody, you can get swept, but not blown out. Like you go 0-2.
Sure.
Both games were phenomenal. Like they were really competitive games. They just didn't find a way to win either one.
Yeah, but as far as your feeling like for the team and like what this team accomplished and, Ike Irish, his time as an Auburn Tiger probably done. Like what were you feeling in that moment?
It was tough because like I know Butch Thompson wanted as many games with that team as he could get. And man, if you had asked me at like 4:00 on Friday afternoon, I felt like Auburn was the betting favorite, and you just kind of felt like they'd find a way at home. They hadn't lost a home series all year. So you thought they'd find a way. So that's tough. The end of a season, when you're in postseason and playing at home, if you lose, there's a certain bit of devastation that goes with it because it's just suddenly over. It's a possibility, but yeah, like Ike is the best Auburn baseball player in a generation. He is.
Is he in the Mount Rushmore of Auburn baseball?
I don't know, because that goes back a long way, but
it's like Frank and Bo were on there.
Yeah, and Tim Hudson's on there.
Tim and Gabe. It's like, is he knocking any of those guys off?
I don't know. Josh Donaldson.
Yeah, it's tough. Statistically, there's a case.
Yeah, there is. 3 years. He was a part of 2 regional hosting teams. Yeah, you could make it. And somebody asked me earlier this year to compare Chris Rembert's freshman year, and it was an awesome year. But like compare it to Ike's, it's not. It doesn't really compare. Ike had such a stunning freshman season.
Ike has been consistently great. I mean, even last year when Auburn baseball as a whole like underperformed, like Ike was still there. So
yeah, and he was hurt half the year. So like if he's not hurt, is their performance better?
Yeah, does it change things? Right.
So I'll say this: the team massively overachieved. They outdid every single projection before the start of the year. Nobody had this team as a regional host. Nobody had them as a national seed. If you think this team underachieved, you started paying attention in June. That's because they overachieved in every way imaginable until the final weekend.
Well, you can tell the difference, right? Like you can tell.
Yeah.
I said this on another show. I think the disappointment and, just how upset the Auburn fan base was, like the volume of it, I think it's good. I think it's a tad misplaced.
Yeah.
But I do think it's good. Like, I'm glad that how many people are ticked that they didn't get to Omaha. Like, that's a good thing.
No
That's
question.
a good thing.
Yeah.
Now, is it entirely fair? Some of the criticisms, I'm not gonna agree with that.
Right.
Maybe here and there, like I didn't love the pitching decisions in the super regional and all that, but whatever, that's fine. Like I trust Butch Thompson, where I'm like, he knows his guys in this game way more than me. He's earned that, and some Auburn fans, I guess, don't think that he's earned that, which is a little strange to me. It's like I don't think you've been watching if you feel that way, but I love how upset everyone got, and I'm not saying that tongue in cheek. I'm being genuinely like clear and honest with this because I think that's good. I think it's like, because if we start to care even more than we already do, it'll get better.
Yeah, and I do think I like that point because it kind of takes me into something I wanted to talk about today anyway. We are one successful football season away, I think, from becoming a nationally like elite program in the big three. All right. Football, men's basketball, baseball. Men's basketball is a top 10 program nationally.
Yeah.
Baseball is a top 10 program nationally.
Sure.
Okay. Fewer than 10 programs have hosted regionals 3 out of the last 4 years. Fewer than 10 programs have been to supers like 4 out of the last 7 or 3 out of the last 7 or whatever that number is. And Auburn is in that group. So when football gets there, if football gets there, there are very few schools that are elite in all three. You put Texas in that conversation. You probably put Tennessee in that conversation. All right. Deep NCAA tournament runs are expected and fans are mad if you're not there. Baseball, hosting regionals, and if you don't, fans are mad. Football, you're in the playoff conversation. And if you're not, fans are mad. Football's got to get there because the other two are there now. They're there.
The other two are there. 100% agree. They've arrived. And those two coaches were given time. They were given time to implement a culture that was not previously there, and a roster and a system and a process that was not previously there. Yeah. So now it's Hugh Freeze's turn. And it seems like, okay, he's had 2 years. It's not quite enough. Brad Law went away. Brad Law's gone. Brad Law's out of here. But the question is, one, will Hugh Freeze have enough time, and can he do it with time? That to me is the question. And it will need to be answered. Brad Law recording on the side of the road right now, battling through it, and he's going to have to leave and come back in, but he doesn't know that. Maybe he does. There he goes. We haven't talked about the NIL situation on this show yet, and I think it's important because it does seem like Auburn is ready for the most part, as much as you can be, for this next wave of college athletics. And I think that's going to be encouraging to see and exciting to see, but we don't fully know what that looks like. Brad Law, as far as the new world of NIL that we're in, with all of the rev share that's thrown out there, I'm so glad you're back.
Me too.
I can't wait to see what percentage Auburn of the rev share that Auburn throws into non-football sports compared to other teams in the SEC.
Yeah, I mean, what's the total amount? How do you? I don't know. I don't begin to understand this. We're all going to learn so much over the next few months. What percentage and then what amount does that percentage break down to? Because like, is 20% of the revenue at Auburn the same as 25% somewhere else, or the same as 15% somewhere else?
Well, there's a set
So is
amount,
the
like the 20.5 or whatever.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
it's going to be interesting to see, like, you got to assume Kentucky football will get less than Alabama football percentage-wise. But where does Auburn fit in on that? Because you're going to see some schools just punt sports where, like, we'll play it. There's been several Big Ten teams that have come out and said, like, we're not going to do the 35 scholarship thing for baseball. We're going to stay with the 11.7. And it's like, if you do that, you are going to lose. And you're going to lose a ton, barring some exceptions and some really unique situations.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn's made it clear that they want to win in basketball. I think the stadium upgrades at Plainsman make it clear that they want to win in baseball. But can you do that when, like, I assume Vandy's going to put money into baseball, probably a higher percentage of their places. Mississippi State, probably. LSU is the interesting one to me because they have such a big football program. Do they just choose to put less into basketball versus, other teams in the conference? You're going to see some strategic decisions by teams as far as, like, these are the sports we feel like we can actually compete in.
That's a really good point. I wonder how much teams like Georgia and Vanderbilt are going to be impacted by the new baseball scholarship rules because they've been, they've had the advantage of state lotteries and that kind of plays into scholarships. And
Butch Thompson has been playing and coaching and managing at a major disadvantage, and that is gone.
Yeah.
That is gone.
It's gone. Well, and NIL already started leveling that playing field.
Right.
So revenue sharing and adding scholarships and absolutely. And now you see, and you're starting to see the results of that too. Top 10 freshman class, top 10 portal class. You've already seen the reports of the guys that have been added this year in the portal.
Some quality guys the 8 innings at other places, at big schools. They're not going, into the group of 5. They're getting, P4 proven guys, which is great. You got to think that sales pitch is there too. Like, if you're a fan, like, show them the attendance. Like, I know we got a guy from, like, Michigan State or whatever. It's like, you're telling me, like, you're about to play in front of some guys. Like, you're about to play in front of, like, an incredibly new revamped stadium with a fan base that is hungry and excited.
Yeah.
Brad, I don't know if you saw this on socials. This goes back to a conversation we were having just a second ago, where I asked, how will this season be remembered? That was, like, my question of the day on socials. And there was a nice mix of things, as you would expect. Some positive, super proud of this team. Some negative, like, oh, they blew it, whatever. But another popular answer was the start of something special.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's cool. But this isn't the first time it's the first time they've hosted a super, but, like, they've been to Omaha twice since 2019. Like, this isn't the beginning of this. But I do think we ushered in a nice chunk of the Auburn fan base that will now care more about this baseball program.
I said on the Barn Baseball Show before the Supers that this was a transformative year. This is a transformative time for baseball. And it's kind of like with the basketball team when they went to the Final Four for the first time. That raised the level. Now, they had already won an SEC championship and, they were already getting high-profile players, but that changed the game. And then you talked just a couple of months ago about how the second Final Four took it to another level altogether. I think you're seeing, I think you're seeing selling out 7,800 seats for postseason games. That's so different than selling out 4,500 or 5,000. You're seeing now the fruits of all of the investments that have been made. And that's not a one-time, like, you don't cash that in once.
Right.
You go to the bank and take out a CD and you get some interest on that in 7 months. It doesn't just stop earning.
Sure.
It continues to earn.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to continue to see, you're getting to the point now that you could say the same things about baseball that we say about basketball. If you're a top portal player or a top high school player, you're going to be developed. You're going to have a premium experience as a player. You're not going to take a back seat on NIL. You're not going to take a back seat in terms of the crowds you play in front of.
Right.
And you're going to compete for championships and host regionals and host supers and go to Omaha. Like that's,
Yep.
You're going to have that conversation now.
Yep. There's another take on this that I want to give you at the start of another show. Because I think it's a little juicy. And I don't think some people are going to like it, but I think it's true. So maybe we'll do that next time we record. You might be on the beach next time we do this. So we'll see.
That'd be great.
We'll
We'd have
see.
the beach behind me, the waves crashing down. That'd be great.
Sure. I'm all for it. Cool. Does that do it for today's show? Are we good?
It can. Yeah, it can.
Where are you stopped right now?
I'm stopped in Evergreen in front of the Conecuh gift shop.
Like Conecuh sausage?
Yeah.
What's in the gift shop there?
They have a full-on store, Zach. They have sausage, they have bacon, they have knickknacks, they have like it's big. They have gifts, they have outdoor stuff, they have all the pork you could possibly want.
What are you going to get? What are you most excited to get there?
We'll get sausage and bacon, just kind of some staples, and take those and have breakfast every morning at the beach.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I've heard about Christmas hot, but I don't think that, like I was told that they have a special Christmas hot sausage, but I don't know if that's available now because it's not.
I was about to ask, is that seasonal to Christmas?
Yeah. I feel like it would be, but I'm a few minutes away from finding out.
Christmas hot.
Yeah.
I don't think of like Christmas specials being like hot or spicy. It kind of like goes against the whole nature of December, right?
Maybe it's got red and green hot peppers,
that would make sense.
With it. Maybe,
I bet that's it. I bet that's it. You were such a sausage guy.
I do love a good sausage now, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Sausage Brad.
You know what I say? I say, give me some sausage. Sometimes I say it real loud. Give me some sausage. There you go.
You ought to make a joke. It's like, I've never sausage a gift shop.
I should say that. I bet they've never heard that before, Zach.
I bet it'll be the first time. Make sure your children are within earshot. It will cause them to cringe.
They might kick me right the heck out of there.
Yeah. I think one's right next to you. He's probably like in a ball, like just cringing now.
He's looking. He's not so sure. This is the same kid, by the way, who got me to use a mayonnaise joke on the air during a baseball game. Did you hear this? Were you listening?
What was the mayonnaise joke?
It was whenever I think about, whenever I see crowds like this at Plainsman Park, I think about mayonnaise. I look around and go, mayonnaise, a lot of people here.
All right. I think that does it for today's show.
It sure does. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Remember, you can get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000 and a $10 casino chip at mybookie.ag. And all you have to do is use the promo code BARN at mybookie.ag. Thanks, everybody, for subscribing, for commenting. I'm so ready for the comments today. Remember, until next time, everyone has vices. Make sure Village Vice is one of yours.